on what's going on. Without further ado, we bring in our boy Big Z, Zander Krause. He joins us now. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Sills? How you doing, brother?
You over what happened last week? Have you moved on?
Yeah, I moved on, but I mean, we're in the middle of August, and that's what we got to talk about right now. That's what we've seen. I mean, we've waited a long time to see Sean Mannion, and we've waited a long time to see this new offense. And that's obviously not the new offense because of the players that were out there. But like you've said on the show this morning, or not this morning, today, not a good first showing. They didn't pass the test at all. And I keep coming back to John doesn't seem to agree. I think you're more on page with me with this. I keep coming back to Nick. And I've been a pretty hard defender of Nick. I mean, team just didn't look like they had any juice, any fire, nothing. I mean, it was like a blank slate out there. And I think they're gonna have to get better. The good news is the games don't count. They matter, but they don't count. So you can flush it and you can move on. But look, they gotta get their head out of their ass here. This isn't time to be all, peaches and cream and smiles. They gotta put their head down and go to work. And I think you saw kind of a good look at that. And the other thing I have is, which makes me bring it back to Nick is, and I wonder if you're even going to come off Jalen a little bit because of it. But the way I've seen it is, it's the same issues, different styles of quarterback, different play caller once again. Different quarterback, different playmakers, second, third, fourth team. It was the same exact problems. Defense is on the field too long. We can't pick up a first down. 0 for 9 on third. Living in third and long. Penalties all over the place. Same problems with Jalen Hurts. Now, again, Jalen wasn't on the field. He's obviously not to be blamed for this one. But the common denominator remains, and I do wonder, it is making me sit there and go, is Jalen Hurts a problem, or is, Nick Sirianni and the philosophical approach the team has taken, becoming too much to overcome for the players? Nintendo McKee that guy was flying around space. He had no idea what he was doing out there. Andy Dalton's played 16 years in the league, Sills. He couldn't, like Farsi said, he couldn't get a first down. And miss me with the bull crap that all the receivers and everybody else out there sucks. The team had 450 yards of offense in the preseason last year with damn near the same second and third team. So, I mean, it wasn't that. Now that's also a reason why you can't put too much stock in it, but not ideal.
Here's the reason why I went down this lane today, and I asked everyone the simple question. On August 18th, this is not an indictment, but this is a question today. Is Sean Mannion qualified to be the Eagles' head offensive coordinator? And you know where I got that topic from? I got it from John this morning, listening on your show when John said this. John said that Sean Mannion, it doesn't seem that he has the control of the offense that people think that he has control of. So if this guy is in training wheels and you got to determine whether you're going to put him in the booth or on the sidelines, and he really doesn't know what he's doing, how is this guy qualified to take this role on unless Nick's not a parrot on his shoulder looking at every single thing and being scrutinized on all the things that he does? And he even sounds like Nick when he said this.
He does.
Hey, all the things that, we could control, hey, I thought it was pretty damn good. Even Gary Cobb goofed on that. And I was like, okay, that even sounds like
what's the
Nick.
Other word he says that sounds like Nick? He says right.
Yeah.
Right? He said that sounds just like Nick. I'm like, oh gosh, please don't start saying that too.
I mean, that's why I asked that question, because I heard John go like this. Dude, I'm totally in the belief of this. Here's my take on him. Sean Mannion, and I may get proven wrong. I don't believe he's qualified for this job, just like I didn't think Kevin Petullo was qualified for this job. And the only reason that Nick went down the lane again, because if John says that Nick makes all the hires, there is only one reason that you hire a guy who's never had experience. It's so that you can control the offense. Zander, when you hired me to do a job, not sit in my ear and parrot me and tell me, talk about this, talk about that, do this, go that lane, go here. You hire people to do jobs, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nick doesn't seemingly on the offensive side do that. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, it's his expertise in a way. Look around at the offensive coach that get hired. Most of them don't give it up. I mean, Mike McDonald didn't give up all the defensive stuff, and he gave up some of it, but he's got his finger on it, and maybe this is where Nick doesn't provide the advantage that you need to provide when you have an offensive coach. Every CEO coach has a background, whether offense or defense, but certain ones are better at delegating than others. I can relate to it. I suck at delegating. It's one of my things I hate the most. I've just gotten so used to doing everything myself that, it's always been hard for me to hire out and delegate, but different levels, different scopes, and I wonder if Nick just naturally gravitates toward, what do you do? I know that. I know how to play offense. What are we doing over there? You know what I mean? It's like the nature of it, because he knows it. He's more attracted to it or more, prone to try and implement something himself. Maybe it's an ego, maybe it's a feeling of, control slipping. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But the buck stops with him this year. I mean, if the offense sucks again, we all agree, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody will rip Sean Mannion, of course, but we can't blame another coordinator, right, everybody? Let's all collectively make that comment right here. We can't scapegoat another coordinator, can we?
I think it would be very unreasonable for people to rip Sean Mannion if they win a third consecutive NFC East and they win 11 ball games and go, guys, stop.
I'm talking offense. I'm not talking team right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm talking offense.
All right. Yes.
I mean, if the offense, let's say they win 11 games like they did last year and the offense blows again. Is everybody's solution what it was this year? Blow out the coordinator and reset? To me, Nick Sirianni's got to come into the forefront, and so does Jalen. Now, I'm sure people are going to have different ways to see that. Some are going to think it's more Jalen. Some are going to think it's more Nick. Right now I'm inconclusive on that because I don't think Jalen's been good enough. At least last year, I don't think he was, and I don't think Nick has provided enough offensively to give this team the spark. So if it falls flat again, the conversations next summer will be much tougher than the ones this summer. It's pretty easy to go, hey, let's fire the coordinator. Yeah, screw the coordinator. Let's get a new guy. You're going to talk head coach, quarterback. These are tougher conversations. Sileo is salivating over there for next summer.
Hold on. Z, do you believe in short-term success versus long-term success? You believe there's different plans for a short-term success and a long-term successful plan that certain organizations, certain businesses, they have short-term.
Absolutely.
Okay, right? So was Nick's short-term success plan, let me get the ball out of this quarterback's hand. Let me get it into Barkley's hand. Let's use the talent we have on the football team. Let's play defense. Let's play risk averse, especially after the 31 turnovers we had from 2023 and the first 4 in 2024. Let's put the quarterback in a box. Let's play risk averse football, and let's just go with this thing as long as we can. And that was a short-term success. And now, when the team's getting older, the offensive line is banged up, Barkley's getting older, you don't have AJ on the team. Now you've got to resort into doing something where you're behind because you didn't develop the quarterback.
Well, I think it's a fair point by you. What I would say to this, though, is life to me, and maybe it's too philosophical for the discussion on football, but in many ways, what you just explained with short-term success and long-term success applies to a lot of things in life, where life is about compromise. Life is about trade-offs in many ways. So in other words, if I want to prioritize short-term success, most of the time, one of the trade-offs you're going to have to compromise on is it might take away from long-term success. Vice versa, if I want to prioritize long-term success, I might have to give up something in the short term to be able to achieve that in the long term. Same game Howie Roseman plays constantly, right? I want to be good in 3 years, but I also want to be good right now. How do I tote that line? How do I walk that line? That's the challenging part. It's not actually determining whether you want to prioritize short or long term. It's figuring out how to walk the line for a team that has such high expectations year in and year out, and also has great long-term aspirations as well.